Yo, hey, you know what? This is a momentous occasion, Episode 69.
You need to be arrested, man. How is that momentous?
Oh, bruv.
Why did I let that one stew?
Yikes.
Yo, welcome to the Made In Chafford podcast, episode 69. Oh, God, new joke. Episode 69.
Episode 34 plus 35, yeah.
Yo, shout out to Ariana. Yeah, we live. We in the building. What are you telling me?
What's
Give
good?
off the aliases. It's time to get them names off. Well, one of you is. Do you want to rock, paper, scissors over who goes?
I'll go. Big 2L, Don Corleone, Cool Calm Collected in the building. What are you saying? What's good? What's bracking?
It's Michael Mann himself. Feel me?
Yo.
Make Africa great again. Eman G45. You already know. You know. Yeah, you know. If you know, you know.
You know the vibes.
Yeah.
You already know who it is. To them, the real is back. The real is back. Made in Chafford podcast, episode 69. Can't believe we made it this far to this occasion. It's a celebration. Pop bottles. I know about you, man. I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm happy too, man.
Made it this far. To the coveted number.
Long may it continue.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
All right, so I think there's no other place to get into it. I think we should just start by talking about the country that is well known as the third world country with a Gucci belt. They were wilding. I think there's no other way to put it. Just for some context, I don't know, a certain sector of the American people who have been frustrated with how the election went, ran up on Capitol Hill. I don't know what it's called. I think it's Capitol Hill, which is basically like ran up on going to Parliament and saying, "Yo, we weren't happy with how the election went. Sort it out," which is crazy. The videos from it were just insane.
So it was a coup, as they call it. A coup the colour of mayonnaise, as I've seen it. Spin this coup. Let me see.
Yo,
I just seen something, fam.
Coup clap.
Coup clap. Yeah, it's wild, man. It's wild.
Yeah, they're going crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, man. I mean, there was speculation of election fraud, voter fraud. Sorry, and what happened was that people had come to the conclusion that it might just be election fraud, so they decided to go on a march, and some individuals decided to raid the Capitol and do a ruckus and a madness. It's funny because it's a double standard. You have a bunch of you had the march about George Floyd. It triggered a march because you had Ahmaud Arbery who had passed away. Well, he was murdered, and then you had George Floyd who actually triggered an international march. And then all of a sudden, you have something as small as, I don't want to call it small, but compared to the killing of a black man and justice not being found and people taken to the streets, compared to that, you have a bunch of people who come out in moose hats and then just raid a place because they believe that elections were not dealt with properly.
Yeah, I just don't. It's just not even something that you can do. Like, it shouldn't even be something that crosses your mind. But that's their most that's serious. Like, you can't just run up in those places. So the fact that it happened and there was no real effort made from the security. That's what blew my mind the most. That they were just able to walk up in there.
It's a combination of a lot, man. It was a combination of a lot because you look at the footage. There's like 100 mandem, like 100 plus mandem, maybe even looking at 500 people just walking into one building. And
fair enough, yeah, but
police are not out there.
They did all that in the summer. the security that they had when BLM just went to the capital. They didn't even do anything, or
They
when
didn't do
people.
anything at all.
But the
And
security they
there was
had
a
was mad.
full-on army. Like that was not security. That was an army, bruv. They were out here ready to gun down any man. And then
Heavy
Trump
militia.
says, "Yo, we're gonna do a march." Man, run up in the place. They take the pulpit.
Man was leaving like he'd just gone to the gift shop. Like, yo, this is my prize.
This is my prize. It's my.
They were so comfortable that they weren't worried at all. So comfortable. My man was in Nancy Pelosi's office with his feet on her desk.
Yeah.
Listen, there's no home training there, you know. There's nowhere in the world that I've been that my mum would be like, why would you put your feet on someone's desk? That's disgusting.
Yeah, it's disrespect, you know. When you actually
of the highest level. I'm hearing they stole her laptop.
Oh yeah, no. Apparently, like that's to do with so someone said, yeah, that's an FBI agent that did that because they wanted to get information on whether it was fraud or not. I mean, I'm listening to a bunch of conspiracy theories. I'm like, at the end of the day, this sort of behavior should not have happened at all.
Nah, not at all. Not in a country like that, man. Like this, I just
all.
couldn't even. You can't even. If you've ever been like near Westminster and the security that you see there, it's through the roof. I couldn't even dream of it. A screenwriter said, I couldn't ever. One of the hardest things to do as a screenwriter is to make a situation where someone could break into, say, Capitol Hill. They just ran up in there. It's actually unfathomable that was something people could do.
It is, yeah.
I think that was like the first time in nearly 200 years that's happened. Them man say kick down.
How did it actually
kick down doors?
How did it actually come about? Was it Trump that actually came and put a message out to these people, or I haven't really followed it that well. I saw the aftermath, but I'm not too clued up on it.
As far as I'm aware, he just said we're just gonna do a march and we're just gonna walk. And all of a sudden, Proud Boy members.
Oh God, they're gross. How are you calling yourself a Proud Boy?
To be honest, I still don't understand why they gave. I mean, if you go and look at the actual, I mean, it's been like maybe 1 or 2 years old formed. But if you go and look at the history of the actual name, the name actually comes from a guy taking a piss out of a guy who's a bit feminine. So they called him a Proud Boy after a film, and they just made something about it. They made a movement, bruv. So
Proud Boy is a gross name, man.
It's just bad because the thing is, you're a man, isn't it? And then you're saying you're a proud boy, like, bruv, grow up.
That man is twerking for Trump, man. Anything.
Twerking for Trump.
Yeah, you know they could. Oh man, they all need help. But yeah, so Eman's right along the right lines. Is on the right lines. Is what's it? They were. What's it called? Trump put out a tweet saying, "Yo, we'll meet on the 6th." That was a call. He put out the bat signal, man. The Trump
you know what? You know what's really mad? Colin said here, something's about to happen for real. And then guess what happens? It's not even 7 days. I mean, of course, now it's past that, but it's not even 7 days, and all of a sudden, boom.
You know what's the most embarrassing thing? The thing they tried to stop went ahead anyway. They swore in Biden as the leader, so it didn't matter.
You know how
they just look dumb.
You know how he's saying that he's not going to turn up to the inauguration or whatever it is? I reckon he's still going to pull up, you know? Like last minute.
He's going to pull up late.
Yeah, 100%. He's definitely pulling up. He's lying.
He's a different kind of idiot, man. I swear.
Just trying to go out with a bang, innit?
Yeah, he's not going down easy. And now his phone is basically a brick.
Oh, yeah. He's been banned from all social media. Spotify, everything apparently.
There's certain things that blocked him that had no business blocking him. Snapchat blocked him.
Do you know what's mad? I'm trying to find a post that I put on Instagram, right? And pretty much, if this happened in any other nation, basically, this is what the tweet reads, isn't it? So it says, if the United States saw what the United States is doing in the United States would invade the United States to liberate the United States from tyranny from the United States. What that means is that if the United States saw any other nation do this, Libya, Iran, which is one of the United States' so-called biggest concern. I mean, to a certain extent, it is. Iran. They were looking at Tanzania at one point last year because Tanzania previously had an election. They would have invaded. They would have done damage. France. France is another nation, but the fact that the United States is looking at what's happening now and not doing anything.
No, I love France. The man just get in any occasion. They're ready to riot.
No, but the thing is with France, like if I'm talking about like a national army, if the national army went to another nation and invaded, they would destroy the place and not give a damn and leave. Whereas the United States would just stay there, try and do whatever they can to just keep control. But the fact that the United States is going through this madness right now, it's telling.
You just have to hope that when Biden comes in, there'll be some sort of peace. But you know that group isn't going to go away easily. I think we've got about 10 to 13 days till Biden's sworn in. They're not going to have it, man. Security needs to be on high alert on his inauguration. I'm talking the highest because them man took in a bomb. Which was safely detonated, and they also took in zip ties. They were trying to be gross, man. They were trying to take hostages. It could have been a long day.
Yeah, there's definitely a season finale on the day he gets sworn in. 100%.
Yo,
100%.
It's mad. Yeah,
it is. Man, it is.
Just the pictures that they were able to take. They damaged that place.
Are you talking about the bombing that recently happened?
No, I'm talking about just all the events that went on, what they went through, what they were able to do.
Oh yeah,
they were able to take pictures at places you can't even dream, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah, in the actual building itself, like some places even if you take a tour. Building?
That's what I was. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. Even if you take
with a tour, you probably could. But I went to. The closest thing I could probably describe it is like when I was in Iran, I went to like the Crown Jewels, and they said you have to leave your phone in a locker. You have to leave any metallic material in a locker. So I had to take off everything: my watch, my belt. So I had to hold my trousers the entire time I was walking through. Do you know what I'm saying? And there was even certain rooms we could not enter. We could only look outside. So comparing it to that, and this is where legislations are made. This is where presidents are sworn in. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
it's unfathomable.
This is where history is actually made. And then them went away to history. The building.
You saw them when they were in there. They looked like they'd just gone on a tour. Like, you know what, this is wrap it up then. At the end of the tour. Some guy came out, the thing was like, there's nothing in there, we're going home.
You know what was even crazy about the whole thing? I saw one black guy, yeah. My guy looked happy to be alive.
He was trying to find that stimulus check and go home.
He was, bro.
He was there like, now, if I was a stimmy, where would I hide? That's what he was like.
Yeah.
Nah, it was nuts, man.
Gross. Honestly, gross.
I don't know for them, man. Honestly, it's not a good look for the country. I just hope they can heal because they are an important country in the world. It's just, I don't know how to put it, man. I guess that is it. They are an important country in the world, whether we like it or not. I think they've gone through 4 years of hurt because they've had an absolute dickhead in charge. But you just hope that now that they've got Biden in, you know, maybe with his views, because he's probably more centre than he is far left. So he'd be able to.
Trump has done some good things. Not to lie.
I think
it's just that he has not led the nation properly. Do you know what I'm saying?
But it's the same way. I could say Boris has done some good things, but at the end of the day, none of us like him.
Yeah.
There's them on there.
It's the leadership. The leadership that a lot of people are looking at it and thinking to themselves, okay, was he a really great leader in what he actually did? Of course, the economy was up. You know, can we say it's thanks to him? Well, that's another discussion. But all in all, it's just his presence probably gave another spirit to the nation that was good in some ways, but you can list. You can have a long day about how many bad things occurred by him being in presidency.
That's a fact. The thing that shocked me the most was I didn't even know he was built like this, because obviously he used to do Apprentice, and I used to just think he was a funny guy. Like, he was good when he was on The Apprentice. I'd never seen this side to him. Then he started running for president, and my God, he was diabolical from start to finish,
I think
man.
he had the best intentions. It just didn't. He didn't communicate it well in every shape, way, or form. He didn't give it properly. Pause. So,
I hear that. No, he was bad.
But it's time for a new era, man. It's time for Biden. I mean, we'll see if he helps the black people.
America. That's what they're getting mad about.
We'll see if they help the black people. We'll see. That's my only thing, innit? Like, they're not really looking to help black people. Then I'm very close eye, man. I'm very, very close.
We'll have to see, man. Auntie Kamala looks like she could do it. Actually, no, she's been terrible. I'll take that back.
You just gotta put American rice, man. That country. I just watch and laugh. I'm so uninvested in that country, bro. Like, I just look. I'm just like,
that's what we've been doing for the past.
You man are a joke, bro. And the thing is, we're a joke as well. So I can't even laugh too much.
It's a joke laughing at a joke, but their joke just feels different.
Yeah, next level shit.
I mean,
you know what's even crazy? There was a time where, shout outs to Tanya, like when we were in college, she said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna go out to the United States to help him out." I was like, "Well, what are you talking about, the United States?" Like, you know, like when people go out to these third world countries and help them out.
Can't even fathom.
When she said the United States, I was completely confused. So then now seeing this, it's like,
you understand.
I understand. I'm surprised, but I understand. Yeah.
So it's a third world country with a Gucci belt, man. They've made some. It's been interesting. That's what I'm going to say on that topic, man.
Very interesting.
But you just hope they heal now. And they can go back in the right direction. But it's crazy because, you know, at one point that country was looked at the place to go, the place to be. It really looked at the land of opportunities. My God.
Yeah.
It's really tipped on its head.
Yeah, couldn't be further from the truth.
So what's the second topic? What are you trying to get off?
I put I was gonna ask you guys if you watched Wonder Woman, the new one, or so. Either of those movies.
I have. I've watched both. I think Wonder Woman's getting way more hate than it really should be, in my opinion. It's not good, but it's not as bad as people are making out. And Soul was fantastic. I don't think there's a lot to really say about Soul. It's a really good Pixar film. I think Wonder Woman lends itself to more of a conversation. Why are you
Wonder Woman? Where did it release?
There's a two-pack of ads.
Where did it release?
What movie?
Where did Wonder Woman release?
Just on Christmas Day. HBO only. Well, if you had cinemas around, then you could go to watch in the cinema. But
there's very few cinemas. No one's going to cinema. But why am I going to go to cinema on Christmas Day as well? But I digress. Yeah, so both films came out. Soul's fantastic. Watch it when you get a chance. It was really good. I really enjoyed it from start to finish. And it's a really good story centered around black people. So that's obviously great.
Wonder Woman was a free pack of ass. That movie is trash. Thing is, I tried to be nice because when I finished watching it, I tried to think of the redeeming factors of the movie. But the more I think about that movie, the more bad it is, man. It is
bland.
I do hate Is it worse than Suicide Squad?
No.
That's just a different.
Never. It will never be as bad as that. There's some redeeming qualities about the movie. Like, it's well acted, and I think getting the Pedro Pascal, like, he's just a good actor. Do you know what I mean? So he bodied his role. However, you look at the plot. I'm not going to give you too many spoilers, man. But if you look at the plot, and it is nonsensical. It is. I'm
gonna shoot the movie some bell. I don't think it's that bad.
Nonsensical, bro.
Okay, it's dumb, but I think you have to take it for what it is. Okay, so I think it's a lot more in line with the 2003 not too far, but like the early 2000 superhero films. That's what I feel like I was watching. It has okay. It has no business being 2 hours and 30 minutes. Whoever
So
had
long.
that, it's long and it feels long because I watched it with my mum and she said she fell asleep and she said she woke up and she said it's still going. So
The scene
it's
where
too
she's
long.
running through
The CGI is
Israel,
bad.
fam, it looked like it was made on PS2 graphics. When she's running, it looked awful. Like awful.
I'm talking Flash sort of graphics, man.
Boy.
You know when he's taking the Flash is running and it looks like it's in a PS2 loading screen.
That's what it looked like.
It was
Nah,
bad.
it wasn't good, and it's disappointing because I actually quite like the first one. I thought the first one was actually a decent movie.
I think the first one. I mean, DC is in trouble, man. They need to get it sorted, and they need to get it sorted quick. Because I'd argue they've only got 3 good films: Wonder Woman 1, Man of Steel, and Shazam.
Yeah,
And
I do like Shazam. Shazam's good.
That's 3 films. They put out some stinkers. They've not helped the comic book movie.
To be honest, I'm still waiting for
all.
Zack Snyder's cut. To be honest, I'm still waiting for that to come out.
I don't know if the cut can even save it. You know, my man's talking about it's a 4-hour weekly episode. I'm like, at this point, I don't trust DC, man.
I don't care, bro. Listen, do you know how many people are stuck inside doing nothing? And
Okay,
they really want DC to bang because what's Marvel saying?
Well, Wonder Vision comes out this week.
Oh yeah,
I think Wonder Vision comes out Friday, and that looks good. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, there was problems with that Wonder Woman film. I think it's getting a lot. The criticism towards it is a bit harsh, but
I think it's warranted, man. I think it's warranted. Usually I'll shoot it bail, but nah.
What are your criticisms with it? Because obviously I think it's too long. CGI is bad.
Plot, the main reason why they
do you know what? If you take out Cheetah, I think it's 10 times a better film. That whole thing was dumb. Yo, Kristen Wiig, darling, it's fine. You don't have to do superhero films, man.
Unnecessary character. Just I don't know, like bringing Duke back, but then not doing anything with Duke. It was just
and that was weird because it's not him.
I don't know. It didn't do it for me, unfortunately. And I was looking forward to it as well. So on the other hand, I agree. It was really, really, really well put together. But while I was watching it, like it made me realize, like, wow, like these are a lot of heavy. I mean, I know Pixar have a history of putting in adult content into kids' films, but it's obviously like when you're dealing with like stuff like death, like it's quite heavy. So the way they tried to integrate it was quite interesting to me personally.
Do you know what? It didn't feel like a kids' film, is what I'd say.
No.
It was just the only thing that was an element of being a kids' film is that it was animated, and I don't know the ideas and themes that they had. I actually don't think you could have done in real life, or as live action. But yeah, no, I agree. It was
very, very heavy.
Because at the end, I was like, this was quite dark in certain places. But it was good. It was really good. And I think, you know, the lesson at the end was so poignant and something, especially at this time, we all need to hear that, you know,
that's a fact.
You have your passions and stuff like that, but life is just meant for living, you know, which is something a lot of people want to get back to. You know, what's the face for?
I've not watched the film as of yet, but from just the black woke pages, right? They discuss on how, especially like animation, because I've been trying to get into drawing, trying to get back into drawing. But anyways, yeah, I've been looking at like some of these black woke pages, some black artist pages. They spoke about soul, and they said that, mate, honestly, the destruction of a black man is real. And basically, they're saying that in that film,
I'm not trying to hear it, but I'll let you get it.
They said that in the film, the black man is pretty much an individual who just focuses on his work. He's great at his craft. He's a pianist. Well, a musician, I would like to say, because I haven't watched the film. But then he dies, and then he becomes a white woman, and that's where he actually starts to become like.
Okay, now, you know what? They've got a point.
They've got a point. So
Why am I turning into Tina Fey and starting living
Man said he came,
masquerade?
so
man
now
said
I
he
have
came
to
like
look
a
at this.
white woman.
So I have to now look at the film on the perspective of that. So in other words, I, as a black man, cannot really have the enjoyment, the full enjoyment of life, but I have to become a white woman in order to enjoy life.
Hey, that's such a reach. if you I hear
hearing
it.
though, I'm hearing it.
I'm hearing it, but when you watch the
that's so
movie,
funny.
I think there's a certain line that I can't remember what her name is in the movie says, but it just makes everything make sense, basically. So that's what I got from it anyway. But
I know
so
what
to
you're
spoil
saying.
it for me,
I never thought about it.
spoil it for me. Does he become a black man?
He's a black
Does
man.
his soul come back to who he is?
Yeah. It's not. He doesn't.
it's not a race thing. It's not a race thing.
No,
It's not. I can see where they're coming from, because the voice actor of what was the name of the other
I
song
can't remember.
in that place? I think is a white
22?
woman's voice. Yeah, but it's not the movie. For someone to decipher that from watching that movie is just.
Also, it's a bit unfair because it's not like it's an entity, if that makes sense. She's not anything. The thing. So
It's
not
just
like
because the voice actor in real life is white, is what they're trying to do.
Yeah, that's what it's. Yeah,
that's a reach, man.
No. It's a reach.
It's an interesting theory.
That was just one. That was just saying, okay, there's Soul, and then there's this film where pretty much they take, like, even Wonder Woman. Sorry, not Wonder Woman. Who's this? Miss Marvel, Captain Marvel.
Okay.
So basically, they were talking about how, if you actually go and research it in the comics, how Captain Marvel was actually not a black woman. Sorry, not a white woman. She was a black woman, and the black woman was raised by the father and the mother. So you go and watch the film. They have now taken the father out of the actual picture, and then there's Captain Marvel, who's the white woman, and you see the black girl, the young black girl. That's supposed to be Captain Marvel, but she doesn't have a father in the house. So already they're trying to paint the image on that. Then they go back and talk about the Disney film with the this was animated. This was a black princess where she becomes a frog.
Yeah, that was a bit Princess and the Frog. That was gross. And she was a frog most of the film. I said, yo, what are we doing?
So you have to look at the consistencies, and then now it's like, what are they really trying to tell us? Are you telling us that we're...
I think the Marvel one's a bit of a reach. I do think the Soul one, I agree. It's got its valid points, but I think it's a bit of a reach. When you watch the film for yourself, I think you'll see it's a bit OTT, but Soul was really good. And I don't think that's the story they were trying to get across at all.
So would you ever become a white woman to enjoy life?
Come on, man. Questions that need to be answered. No, I've very enjoyed my life as a black male.
Yeah.
I was asking them real hard questions.
We'll talk.
Would I become Tina Fey for the bag?
A side note, the actual animation itself, the quality of the animation is unbelievable. If you watch for that and that alone, man, you like it's Pixar up their game. It's mad.
Definitely.
It's so mad.
It's the best I've ever seen us look in animation.
Yeah,
they got it down pat. The barber scene will go down in history as one of the best animated scenes ever.
Yeah, I heard good things about the barber scene. I saw it on IG.
Man's beard was fresh. You know, the lineups they were given come correct. We've come a long way from Miles Morales in Spider-Man PS4.
Yeah. I thought it looked alright.
That was good animation. No. But the thing is, the animation was supposed to be like that, though.
Nah, it looked good. You're bugging. I played the game. It looks good. You're bugging.
He looks much better in his own game. He didn't have.
But the thing is, the film. Yeah, but the film was supposed to be animated like that, though. That was the style of art.
We're all three of us talk about different things. Eman's talking about the Into the Spider-Verse. Then he's talking about Spider-Man PS4, and I'm on about Miles Morales Spider-Man PS4. We're all on the screen completely
confused.
But yes, we're all correct. We're all correct, basically. Demi's right. It looks shit in that game, and Eman is right. The style of that animation was supposed to be that way. But by PS5 Miles Morales, they nailed it. They definitely nailed it.
Yeah. So no, good things, man. Wonder Woman. Please still watch Wonder Woman. I want to hear your opinion on it.
You
but...
man, save yourself.
No, it's not. I promise
Just
you,
watch
it's
a
not that
recap
bad. The
on
film has
YouTube.
the film has problems, no doubt, but it's still worth the watch. It's in the middle in terms of like DC films, which I know isn't much of a praise, but it's definitely in the middle of them.
I'd rather watch Batman vs Superman because at least that's entertaining trash.
Oh, I don't know, man. Yeah, stuff actually happens in that. There's also a massive lack of action in that film. They're talking too much.
The last act was just like I shrugged my shoulders a bit. Like, just didn't they nerfed her, man? They really nerfed her. That's what I'm gonna say. They nerfed her
Because she's strong. So
she's
I don't.
OP, bro. They nerfed her, bro. Anyway, I digress.
It's sad to see. So everyone, watch Wonder Woman and Soul in your own time, and then let us know what you think.
Next topic is Chip and Bugzy. Just want to get your take, Eman specifically, on them putting out a tune and being friends.
I think it was the 2019. The 2019 Christmas party at Gig's place, and Bugzy Malone, and if it's not 2019, it could be 2018, but it's too far of a stretch. I think it was the 2019 Gig's Christmas party, and they squashed it back then. So I mean, at that point, everything seemed blessed and Chris, and at that moment, I think they both understood that they were rich, and they got to a point where they didn't need to be, because all it was about talent. Who has the better talent? Because from Chip's character, he's not really on. Huh?
I never felt that they hated each other. You know what I mean?
No, I think it was just at the start of okay, cool.
Yeah,
it was a battle, and then it was just like Chipmunk obviously took the battle, started the battle, and then obviously Bugzy Malone, he continued, and then he became famous because he went to Tottenham at a certain time, and then was walking around saying, "Yo, Chipmunk, you ain't really the king of grime." And from there, they both became rich. So then it was like a point of, okay, what do we do now? So I think because of Gig's sort of Christmas party of inviting him, and him being the OG, allowing that to be squashed and deaded is great. Because Chipmunk's never going to have a problem going to Manchester, and then Bugzy Malone's never really going to have a problem going to London anymore. Thankfully. I mean, if he still feels like he's disrespecting North London, then North London will have to respond. But other than that, I think it's great that what's happened. So now today we see him making a track.
What do you think of the track?
Yeah, so I think it's amazing.
Mid.
I didn't like it that much.
Yeah, same. I wasn't a big fan of it.
Yeah, it was not good. I wish they'd come harder. I think both are way more talented than that, but I think it was one of them ones where they just rode off the moment, and everyone was just happy to see them together. I feel like certain beefs are easier to squash. To me, this never seemed like something that had to go on any longer, because it was more about, like Eman said, it was more about talent. I don't feel like they ever hated each other, and the disses they sent to each other weren't ever that disrespectful. You know, when you talk about beefs I think when you talk about beefs where it would be really hard to squash, I'm looking at that Drake and Meek, where, you know, that's career-ending stuff that they were coming out with and going tit for tat with. So emotions were really hurt there. I mean, you wouldn't go further back. You look at Jay-Z and Nas. There's some real words said there, you know, that can really get your back up. So I never felt like with Chip and Bugzy that was ever the case. So that I did feel at some point, even in the near future, it'd easily be squashed. You just need some time to pass. Time is a great healer. So I'm not surprised that we're in this position now where they've squashed it.
Will Chip and Stormzy squash their beef?
Not if you're coming to my house in the Urus. That's an expensive drilling.
Very true.
I think they will. Again, time's a healer, and it obviously that one kind of felt like a publicity stunt to me. As in, even the way Chip was being a bit gross afterwards with the hurry up and reply, like,
Fuck's
come
sake,
on,
man, hurry up.
I
I don't know. Stormzy still needs to reply in my eyes, but at the same time, if he doesn't reply now and the beef ends up getting squashed, then I don't think the masses will care. However, the purists will be like, "Why didn't Stormzy reply?" Do you know what I mean? But whereas we actually got a full-fledged beef from Chip and Bugzy, so people are naturally happy to see that be, sorted.
Resolved,
but
yeah.
at the end of the day, we want to hear good music. So the fact that they've put one tune together doesn't mean anything. They can always put out more. I think it took Drake and Meek Mill a couple of tunes to make a good tune, I think. So
Drake and Chris Brown
have some hair.
Yeah, when Drake wants to squash his beef, he's coming. He's gonna give you a banger because Going Bad was good, and
the
one with Chris Brown, that was
No Guidance was like a good.
I see how you did, Homeboy.
Please take it easy.
Please take it easy. Yeah.
Since we are talking about beefs, Pharrell went on the Drink Champs podcast and spoke about
that's why I want to discuss
Drake.
this. And Drake, that was a great episode.
Yeah.
Was it actually a good episode, or was it just like still like drink champs, where every 5 seconds they just go moving mad?
Nori can't. I love Nori.
It's time for the champ.
I love Nori, but I don't know if he can do interviews. But he let Pharrell get his ish off here.
Okay.
It was a good discussion, and I enjoyed what he had to say. I do at some point. I don't think they can ever squash this one though.
Nah.
But then again, time's a healer.
Nah, I don't see that one getting squashed still.
There was real words said there.
I can easily see even Drake being like, you know what, I'm ready to squash it, and just Push for the bands being like, nah, you're right.
Nah, yeah, exactly. Push is built different. Push will probably be the one to stop it. Like, yo, there's certain things we can't squash.
No, I think they'll come to the agreement. They'll come to an agreement saying, listen, we don't have to speak to each other. Simple. We could see each other. We could be in the same room, but we don't have to speak to each other.
I think they're probably already at that stage.
Because the thing is, if you want to do something, I will do something for sure. And that's on both sides. Fact. Because Drake, he has his mob ties or whatever. And Pusha T, he's known in every corner on road in the United States. So if he really wants to get something done, he can get something done. But I think they've both, even when he went on Joe Budden's podcast, he said, if nothing happens, it's harmless.
It's W to me.
But could it be squashed? Do you know what's interesting? It's a W to me. Do you know what's interesting? I think where Drake might hate Kanye more, maybe he could squash it with Push. And at one point, Push, he said it himself, Push is his favorite rapper. You know? So at some point, could it be squashed? I think that's a question.
Drake, I think maybe Kanye is probably more likely for him to squash it with him than Drake, than Pusha T, to be fair.
I think it will just become an agreement, bruv. Like shake hands, move on, don't have to see face. Yeah.
Do you think the Pusha T and Drake song would be good?
If Drake decides to bar up, that could be a really good song. But
back to back, I think it could be when it's back to back.
A really good song, but I don't see it.
I don't see why Drake would be singing though. Like it did.
Well, I think he'd have to come with the bars. I don't think he'd be singing on a Pusha T song. There's no room for that. And go hard or go home.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
You know? What would Drake do?
What would Mink do?
Drake will talk about the lifestyle. Push will talk. It'll be like a synonymous thing. So basically, Drake will talk about the lifestyle. Push will talk about the drugs. But the way they'll intertwine in the bars will just be amazing. I think that's what will really happen.
Drake's gonna do his thing where it's like, oh, you know what? I can never live this life. You know when he's like, I just had Alfredo pasta in the back of the kitchen. What are you doing? I'm just like, stop making me feel bad in your raps, man.
All that Italian shit.
You're
Canadian, fam. Relax.
I got the sauce.
I'm talking about Gambaralia.
The girls are claiming their Prego. Yo,
man needs to chill, bro.
For real.
I don't even know. He can do it, but again, if we'll see it, that's another question entirely.
Fingers crossed. Um,
What
what was I
else
gonna
is
say?
on the list?
So final topic, or is there another topic?
You saying double standards, man, but I don't know what you meant. But
You didn't even know what you meant.
no, it was either that or New Year's resolutions. Those are the last two.
Yeah. New Year's resolutions was a bit better for me to talk about because double standards. I was thinking about it, but I wasn't too sure on how I can actually present it because there are certain things where I just thought about it. I've been listening to a lot of YouTubers where they speak about certain things in society today and how double standards have happened. But I don't want to get into it because otherwise
It's
I
touchy.
haven't written anything down. I'm not ready for the conversation. But
No dramas. In that case, let's just go into New Year's
New Year's
resolutions. If you have any.
resolution.
Does
Yeah, the
anyone?
New Year's resolution fails. So people have set, that's what I wanted to talk about, the fails, man. Because a bunch of people have set New Year's resolution. And today is the 9th, and not a lot of people are following those New Year's resolutions. So I just wanted to know, like, what have you, man, dropped already?
I don't know. I didn't really set myself any really. Not this year. I think always is the same, just to take the pod more seriously. So 2 weeks in, we've been doing that. And I mean, when we're allowed back out and we're going places again, even now really, but it's just to be less late to things. So just to try and arrive to places on time, and not just on time, but early, like, being there 5 minutes on time, just so that, when you get there, you're ready for whatever it is, rather than showing up 10 minutes late and be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, X, Y, and Z, it is. So that was a major one for me.
Mine are basic, man. Mine are just like literally to drink more water, funnily enough. Like, I drink a decent amount of water anyway, but I just want to drink more. You know what I mean? Just to stay healthy. Want to try to read more. I read a bit last year, but I just didn't manage to reach my goals as far as how many books. So I'm just gonna keep on trying to do that. Maybe try to read a book every other month, hopefully. Maybe try to read 5-6 books this year, fingers crossed. And I think that might be it. Just trying to be healthy, save money. Nothing like life changing. I feel like I did a lot of good things last year.
Yeah, that's
all this
the
madness.
same boat.
So
yeah, that's the same boat. I mean, I had a lot of significant goals last year that I was able to achieve. So it kind of makes it a bit trickier for this one. But I think it doesn't. New Year's resolution is quite interesting because I might get to 6 months in a year, and things we're hoping will change by then. So it might be, my resolutions or my goals reflect the new world we'd be in when we're allowed to go back out. So it's kind of hard to make resolutions now when you can't really do anything. If normally it's always, oh, I'm going to go to a gym, or no one can do that. So I get it.
It's interesting. Humans are fixated on, we're really fixated on like markers and like time and giving things a definitive period. You know what I mean? Whereas, if you look at the landscape of things, 2021 looks like 2020 light. Not even light, in deluxe. Do you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day,
said 2021 is the Snyder Cut.
Do you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, okay, you want to start the year on a fresh start, but at the end of the day, like, you could just wake up tomorrow and be like, look, I want to do something different. It doesn't have to be on the 1st of January. So,
I agree. I think that's literally it. Especially like you said, you can't, at this moment in time, you can't plan for anything, it just makes it tricky. There's no date. I was just talking about this earlier. There's no end date in sight. You can all look to February 15th and they're saying they want to get that 88% vaccinated, but we don't know. It doesn't mean we'll be allowed back outside. So we have to wait and see.
Is it 88 or
So it's the thing is that the top 4 categories make up 88% of the people who are dying. So they want to get them all vaccinated before February 15th, which will allow them to massively reopen up. They're saying these restrictions we have in place will last until the end of March. So I don't know how that will play out. Whether that means by the end of the March they want to be rid of the tier systems, we'll see. But I don't know what tier people are going to be in, and the cases ain't slowing down either. So it's just going to be. You got to take it day by day with this.
Yeah, for real. Eman, what was yours, or do you have any fails you want to share with us?
Yeah, one particular one is work out every day, but personally, for me to go to the gym, that's where I'm focused. So if I'm in a particular area, then that is where my mindset is for that particular area. Do you get what I'm saying? So when I'm at home, I am relaxed. There is nothing I want to do but relax. If I go to the gym, I'm full on beast mode. If I go on to like my workplace currently at the moment, I'm full on beast mode. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's been one of my fails already. Like me going to the gym, working out at home.
You can try to work out at home? Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah,
but maybe I would. I mean, just as a bit of advice, I wouldn't even say try to do it every day because that's tough, man. Maybe
your body to recover.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I mean, yeah. So not every day, because the thing is, even going to the gym, I don't go every day. Like I only go like four times a week. So, like even so, I mean, I've just not really put.
It's tough, man. Because even Collins, you were saying like, in terms of working out, it's tricky to try to do it at home.
Yeah, I did one yesterday, and I woke up today because I was supposed to do it today as well. I woke up. Like, there's no way I'm gonna do it today. My body's in pain, bro. Fuck that.
But another New Year's resolution that I picked up is just to draw more.
That's dope.
Because I mean, from young that was my first passion, but then I just stopped for whatever reason. And I can't really put a blame on other people because it's stupid. I mean, this is my life. So I just want to pick up drawing again. And so far it's been all right because I've picked it up and I'm getting better and better back as I was before. But, I mean, as soon as I get proper, I'll get to it. Another New Year's resolution, I wrote them down. Another New Year's resolution, I can't speak on that right now, but yeah, that one's active and that one's going well currently at the moment.
Oh, you're getting married?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I was going to say that.
First, I have to find someone to get married.
I was literally going to say that. Yo, do you know what a team?
First, I have to.
Like, you're trying to pattern.
I have to find someone first. I mean, I've spoken to a few people.
When will you marry?
I haven't decided.
I heard that.
When will I marry?
You marry? You know, when Eman tried to put us on the spot that day.
That's payback, nigga. don't think I forgot.
Nah, but there's other New Year's resolutions I've written down. I've just kind of forgot. Actually, no, there's another one, which is to listen to more audiobooks. Because at my workplace, I'm always on my earphones and listen to music. It gets me to a point where it's like, cool, I can listen to new stuff, fair enough, but listen to podcasts, it's cool, but I need to listen to something else. So I'm going to start listening to audiobooks. And audiobooks, I don't think I would be able to listen to audiobooks if I didn't listen to podcasts. Because podcasts there's no music in the background, it's just speaking. And audiobooks it's the same sort of thing, but this one's structured and it's to a particular concept or point. So that's one thing that I am going to be doing. So
I hear that. New Year's resolutions. Well, we'll discuss it again at the end of the year and see where we're at with these resolutions. Fingers crossed. I'm sure we'll all
actually before we do leave, did you guys manage to do everything that you wanted to do? So, for example, Collins wanted to be frugal and Demi wanted to drip. Did you actually achieve that last year?
No one saw the pandemic coming. There was no dripping happening, man. If anything, I had to quickly join Frugal Boys.
I was free. No, I actually saved a lot of money. I'm not going to lie to you. I think I saved more last year than I ever have. So I'm quite thankful for that.
I was definitely Frugal Boys last year. Man. There was no dripping going on.
Visionary, man. Come on. I knew what was going to happen. I seen it.
I seen it. Yeah, it was never going to happen. Maybe I'll try to get into Drip Boys at some point this year, but nah, I don't even see that happening.
Summer,
The
baby.
Drip
Just
Boys
know.
is
Just summer 2021. You heard it here. I'm claiming it.
There's going to be so many babies born in 22. It's going to be crazy.
Yeah, I'm not part of that list.
Oh, you're on the list, bro.
Nah, get out of town.
Man's reading it right now.
Your
man's like, yep.
No.
Demi Farahimi, right at the top of the list.
The only baby I know is Birdman.
Wow. It's good. It's good.
Before we go, guys, let's give the guys or the people song recommendations. So the people we decide to chuck on the list.
The playlist. All right, cool. So he's a friend of the show. Well, his brother's a friend of the show, shall I say. Margaret Brooklyn's brother. Came across he's doing he's just started getting into music. I can't remember off the top of my head the name of the song, but I listened to it earlier. I was really impressed. So I just want to give him some shine. He goes by his stage name is Blue Velvet. So he'll be in there. Just an opportunity to give a young artist who's trying to get it some shine. Not normally the genre that we'd probably put in, but it's still a good song and I respect him.
Shouts to him.
He did his thing. Yeah. Sounded a little different for the ears, you know.
Yeah, for sure.
Shout out to him still.
Mine is a song by Jasmine Sullivan and Anderson .Paak. It's called Price Tags.
God, could not get away from this lady this weekend. What's she done?
She put out a product called Hotels and the women have gone wild.
Is she future for them, man? Actually, to be fair, she can have whatever she wants. She said they should pay our rent, so yeah.
Yes, queen. That's what we want.
Yeah. No, ladies, keep it up with the Busset challenge as well.
Boy, listen. Listen, dog. Y'all killing me with this shit. I'm fighting for my motherfucking life. No,
I'm just on my phone, like, I'm just happy, gleaming.
It's a lot.
So, a guy tried to do it and he got quote tweeted. This for the bitches, man.
Hey, that reminds me of that tweet where Chris is it Chris Evans? Not Chris Evans. The guy who plays Steve Rogers was like, I'm shocked. And someone quoted me tweeting it saying, "Why are you shocked, nigga? Go suit up."
Go suit up.
Suit the fuck up. Oh, that killed me. Go on, man. Your choice.
This song was released last year by Cash, formerly known as Cash-tastic. The song's called Trouble. Just listened to it recently and I was like, yeah, that's a song I really vibe with. So yeah. Another song I listened to the whole Nipsey Hussle Victory Laps album again. Yeah, that's pretty good. But Trouble's gonna be making the playlist this week. So yeah.
Sounds like some good choices. Daya.
Perfect.
Of course.
Well done. Episode 69 in the top.
Yes, sir.
Don't know, people. Listen. Michael Boys, you get what I'm saying? Episode 69. What, make Africa great again?
Yeah, just make it clear because you don't know what they might not know what Maga we're talking about.
Yeah, man, this is Maga country still.
He's trying to get the show cancelled before you even begin.
I'm not, man. They will know.
I'm still trying to get a check from this. When Spotify comes and they're like, oh, well, you know, we really like the product, but on episode 69, it looked like you was joining with the MAGA people.
Just want to know where your political allegiances lie.
Wherever the money was.
This was the topic I wanted to discuss. This was the one I wanted to discuss. I know it might be late because we're trying to cancel and trying to go off, but fam, censorship.
What do you mean?
Censorship, social media censorship.
As in,
how do you feel about it? Yeah.
Nah, it had to happen. He was. If it was anyone else, like if what's his name? Saddam Hussein said, "Yo, every man, let's get it cracking." You have to take him off. You have to take him off line. Like I don't know why people are shocked.
They can't. It's freedom of speech. They can't.
Nah, they can. What, if someone's talking wild, like he clearly was, he's incited a riot. He has to go. It's not
Yeah, but
people are like, oh, if we let this happen, it's gonna happen to everyone else. No, because I'm not on Twitter on a Tuesday saying, hey, yo, you man, let's get together and run up on Parliament. It's not happening. And if I said that, I'd expect my Twitter to be deleted.
but the thing is, you can't though, because it doesn't align with freedom of speech. Do you get what I'm saying? Listen,
Sometimes freedom of speech
I
can't
know
be
it
free.
sounds stupid and I know it sounds wild, but to remove one person's freedom of speech, do you get what I'm saying? You cannot do that. It's
I
not
think they
right.
went a bit OTT because there were certain apps that I blocked him that I said, you have no business. Snapchat, why? Like, what do you think he's going to do? Get up on there with his orange face and be like, hey, girls, I'm on Snapchat now, follow me. No, it's not what he's going to do. So, I don't know. I'm okay with it. He's made his bed, he's got to lie in it. If I did what he did and I tweeted what he tweeted and the following events occurred, I'd expect my Twitter and everything to be taken. Again, I'm a regular person. People are worried about something that's never going to happen to them.
But do you think this results to too much power by the companies?
No,
Because if
like,
they can turn around and censor an individual, then that means they can turn around and take away a tweet that you may need to put out into the world for people to know.
what are they taking? For example, they're not going to take down any tweet. You know, if you say I've got a bake sale tomorrow, they're not going to say, "Oh, we're taking this down because for fraudulent reasons." It's not going to happen. I think this is just a very extreme example. Same way when they took away Kate Hopkins' account, she'd been spewing out hate for years, and she had to go. The Wiley one is a bit techie, but I'm not going to get into that because we'll be here all day. But yeah, I'm looking at those two examples, the Katie Hopkins one and the most recent Donald Trump one. They had to go. I have no issues with it. And all those sites have rules as well that you agree to the terms and conditions to not be hateful online, to not spew stupidness, which is everything Trump has done. So I'm not. I'll sleep easy knowing his account's gone. His account can rest in
I
piss,
also
man.
don't believe in freedom of speech. Some of y'all niggas is dumb. So
Yeah, for real. Some of you don't deserve it, man.
some of y'all don't deserve that shit.
But then who is the one to decide who deserves it or not?
We
Because
all
there might be
decided
a
it. We all saw his
situation
tweet.
where, like, let's just say, you know what, I don't want to get into extreme groups, so let me just tread carefully. Let's just say there's a bunch of people who hate apples, yeah? Now, you can relate this in any way, shape, or form you want to. A bunch of people hate apples, yeah, and there's a bunch of people who hate oranges. Everybody does not like the people who hate apples, so they cancel everybody. They take away all their stuff. What is the difference between the people who hate apples and people who hate oranges? Do you get what I'm saying? I'm treading very carefully when I'm saying this, but you're essentially going to take away a bunch of people's voice and freedom of speech. Who is the one to decide on what
But
people should say and what people shouldn't say?
you know what? I think they got rid of Trump because everyone's in agreement what he tweeted was foul. He's been dumb over the last few days, and then he went and did that terrible video. Go home, we all love you, whatever he wanted to say, X, Y, and Z. Like he had to go. I think we're looking into it too much. He is a prime example of someone who had to go. If they're not cancelling like Candace Owens, as much as I don't agree with her more time, I'm not asking for her Twitter account to be deleted because she has a voice and there's people who agree with it and it needs to be heard. But what Trump
more
did,
importantly, Donald Trump is still the president at the current moment. So you're now going to go to the leader of the nation. Like, even though he's wild, he's stupid. Yes, the long list of insults, right?
But surely him staying on there is far more dangerous than him not being on there.
But then what about a leader who's not really that dangerous?
Then they're not going to get rid of him.
But now if you now remove his Twitter account, they have the full right. You have now given them power to do so. So now we have to look at the whole situation and say, who are you to take away? The president, your president currently.
They're not going to, but I think you're looking at it. This is a very, very one-off example. They're not going to get rid of Boris's account tomorrow. As long as he doesn't tweet wild on there, it's not going to happen. Trump has been tweeting wild for 4 years. It has to have. He had to go, man.
But I know. Listen,
This is
I
a
know
no-brainer
by
to me.
January 20. Is it 20th or 22nd?
I think so.
Yeah, by January 20th, he's going to be taken out of the office, and Joe Biden is now going to run his presidency for the next 4 years, right, with Kamala Harris as vice president. I understand that. If a war kicks off tomorrow, yeah, a random war, they say, listen, we're beefing the United States. Donald Trump will only have those couple of days to decide what happens. Why? Because he's the president of the nation. Now he can no longer address the nation unless he goes on the podium and speaks.
Then go on the podium. This is no. I don't know.
You know what's even crazy? You know what's even crazy? Last year, January 3rd, he tweeted. I understand where you're coming from because what he tweeted about Iran, he said, "Listen, I want to bomb every single site." It's not funny, but this is coming from the guy that we're talking about.
This is a man that needs to be reprimanded. I'm sorry, I don't feel bad. That account can rest in peace.
It's just the freedom of speech.
It is techie, but
it's very techie. Of course, we understand who this individual is as Donald Trump, right? Because I'm bringing out tweets he said,
but
even things that he said on roads.
Are you concerned that this is going to happen to you? Like, as in,
know, I'm concerned that
it could just start happening to world leaders.
As a consumer, do I even have a power? Like, do I even have the power to say what I want to say? Say if I want to say something outlandish, like F a celebrity and their stance. Yeah. Let's just say that, right? And I get cancelled. And then I get removed from Twitter. Do you get what I'm saying? Why? Because I was rude to a certain group. That's just one thing. I've given an example of apples and oranges. If one person hates apples,
it's tough. We'd have to see if these apps get power hungry and then they just go on a massive binge and start taking people out. But at this moment in time, I agree with Trump. That's Trump being
because the next thing I see is if Joe Biden steps into office, he's probably going to put regulation. If not, if Trump was going to do another 4 years, he would have put regulation on all these social media sites. But with Joe Biden, I think the next thing he's going to do is put regulation on it, because no company should have power over a voice of an individual, freedom of speech, and that's how I feel about it.
We'll see. I hear what you're saying, but this particular person that has happened to you, I couldn't care less. He had it coming. So I'm honestly not surprised. His phone's a brick now.
Like I said, a lot of people are dumb. Fuck freedom of speech. You look underneath some of what Marcus Rashford tweets, and he's doing a good thing. And there's people are calling it for him to die. So at the end of the day,
I just don't get it.
Fuck freedom of speech. If these men want to get their account taken, so be it. And obviously, it's just like one example of things. But if Trump is out here doing the madness, tweeting whatever, it's about time to get rid of that.
That's a fact.
That's my 2 pence.
All right. Well, that's episode 69. That was a good conversation there, but yeah, let us know what you think. But yeah, episode 69. Have a great week. Have a great life. Enjoy.
Like, comment, subscribe. Tell a friend.
Tell a friend.
Rest in peace, MF Doom. Peace.